Hi, I want to walk you through three quick. Uh, I want to walk you through a framework that helps with understanding what kind of leadership to bring during times of chaos. And whether you are a business or building a brand or just leading any kind of community these days, you're going to find yourself with a lot of uncertainty in the table. And so, amidst all of that, I want to just kind of give you some tools. I found this from somewhere at the beginning of COVID, so I didn't invent this for sure, but I wanted to just share some of it, and I've translated a little bit of it to walk through um, my uh, with team or clients or people that we work with. So I just want to walk through this. So the first thing you do when chaos strikes and you are the leader, you're responsible, or you want to lead, or you want to take people in a certain direction. First thing you do is acknowledge reality. So, in acknowledging reality, one of the things that you're focused in on is just naming what's true, is just understanding what it is that you have to be responsible for, and understanding, can you say things out loud and just discuss what's going on? Can you just say, this is what's happening? And leaders are able to, in those moments, stand up and say, this is what's going on and here's what's happening. The second thing is to empathize with the struggle of the people who you are working with. And so understanding what it is that those people struggle with, what it is they feel, what it is that they're experiencing on their end. You don't have to be experiencing the same thing as them. You don't have to say, oh, I am going through exactly what you're going through. We can tell when that's not true. Some of you who are leaders or in positions of power, and other people in your organization don't have the same level of power or stability that you yourself have. Faking it doesn't work. But empathizing with the struggle that other people are going through and letting them know that they are seen and heard and that you can tell where they are. The second thing, or the last thing in this section, is to not sugarcoat things. You don't need to overdo it and give false assurances or pretend like there is certainty when there isn't certainty about how things are going. This might be different if you are in a gigantic publicly traded company and you have to like say some stuff so that your stocks don't seem terrible or that it doesn't seem like your business is in decline. But if you are paying attention to me, that is not the scenario you find yourself in. And so being able to just speak the truth, name reality, and empathize with the struggles of the people who you're communicating with is step number one to get everybody on the same page, to sort of share that we are seeing the world the same way. The next step is to take responsibility. So, one, taking ownership over repairing whatever kind of damage or whatever kind of chaos is happening, saying, I'm going to do what I can to repair and restore stability, growth, health, sustainability to this situation. Leaders take ownership over repairing and setting things right and I'm back on a healthy course. The second thing would be to schedule conversations and to bring the agenda for those conversations. So even if you're just doing this internally with your leadership team or other people who are your partners or peers, you might say, hey, let's have a conversation tomorrow. And in that conversation, I want to discuss what do we think we need to do that's different? What do we think is the most important things to keep doing or to do more of? What things should we scale back on? You ask questions. You don't need to lecture or dictate the entire time when there's chaos, but bring the agenda, lead the conversation, and direct other people into participating in powerful ways. And then the last piece, the third piece of this is to listen and incorporate that feedback. So whatever your team shares with you, uh, if you can enact one or two changes very quickly, there will be a lot of trust built there and you'll get a lot of buy-in amidst uncertain times when that's really important. So if someone says, hey, I think we need to stop doing this and start doing something else, then try and incorporate that as quickly as you can because that teammate will know that what they see, when they see something, they want it to be different, they think it will help, that they're listened to, they have permission, and that you are a trusted leader in that space that will hold their voice and opinion and expertise and take it seriously. And then the last thing is to overcorrect. So remove any excess actions that might be taking place. You might need to scale back certain budgets dramatically. You might need to scale back certain efforts that you have. You might need to say, hey, we're actually only going to focus on these 3 or 4 things. We're not going to focus on the 12 things that we had been focused on. You might need to figure out what your most profitable or impactful projects or products or services are or lines of communication and just double down, triple down on those. Be deliberate and communicate what the focus, effort, and timeline is around these actions. So saying this is what we're going to focus on, what we're going to hold as very, very important. We are going to focus in on some of these clients. We're going to focus on these customers, or we're going to focus on this service, or whatever that focus is for the organization and for you as a leader. What kind of efforts, what kind of steps that you're taking, and then the timeline with which those things are happening. This happened a lot at the beginning of COVID when people were participating in the CARES Act, whether that was through the EIDL, disaster relief loans, or was through the SBA, PPP loans or grants as they came out. So as an organization, as a leader, a lot of us were participating in those things and trying to work through the system as it was given to us. And we were sent back to our teams to communicate what's been happening. And so saying, this is what we've been told, this is the actions that we've taken, and here's the timeline that we think something could happen, or here's what we're doing in the meantime. So there was a lot of question marks that people lingered in for months as those funds were allocated. And so you need to do the same thing with your team now, or at any time where there's chaos, and starting to understand, communicate, let people know where the focus, the effort, and the attention is going, and what kind of timelines they can expect. Don't make up fake timelines. Don't make up hopeful timelines. You can say, this is what we know, and this is what we're doing, and this is kind of like what will happen next. And then the third thing in your overcorrection is, I know there's a lot of like caring, soulful people who love helping their clients and customers and investing in their community, but think about serving in this moment and overcorrecting as a systems and organizational activity. Organize as much as you can, systematize as much as you can, and focus in on the operations of providing help and relief and change throughout all of this. If you focus in on those things, you're going to come out at the other end with resilient and strong and healthy team, network, community, customer base, whatever those things are, but you need to be providing important leadership throughout the whole thing. So that was really quick. That was 7 minutes long. I just wanted to dive into those 3 steps. Acknowledge reality, name the truth, take responsibility, take ownership for what you can control as a leader. And then the third thing would be to overcorrect, to take deliberate and clear, focused action and let other people know what's happening, and let people know that what they can expect from you as a leader throughout chaotic times in your organization. So be transparent with all of them. Don't leave people out in limbo. And so I'm eager to hear from you in your brands or businesses or communities or organizations, inside of your families, this applies, inside of any sort of network or group of people, this applies. How do you see this playing itself out? How do you see yourself empowering other people to take action, to make a difference? How are you helping to connect other people to resources and needs that they might have? Hop in the comments below, share any of those ideas. We'll be eager to hear from you. Peace.